So my name's Ernie Hubbard. I'm a native of Marin. I was born here in 1949 in San Rafael and spent my early years in Marin and San Francisco, and then grew up out in the country in the Sacramento Valley. Became a radical hippie in the 60s. And at 19, I met the woman who I was going to marry, and she was pregnant at the time. So I became a father at 19, and so I grew up pretty rapidly in terms of assuming responsibilities. That led me back to school, where I studied biology and genetics, eventually started a couple of biotech companies, and became extremely interested in human aging, just the process of it. As I fell in love with biology, I fell in love with understanding the process of development and aging. And that eventually brought me to study the energy fields that are affecting us as we pass through this arrow of time in our lives. So for the last 3 or 4 years, I've been studying the quantum mechanics of the human biofield, and really trying to reconcile it with what we know and to identify what we don't know. And along the way, inventions pop up, just like...
Will you tell people what the human biofield is?
Yeah, sure. The human biofield is a combination of fields, actually, but let's start with light. Let's start with electromagnetic radiation that our bodies generate. We are beings of light. The chemical reactions and the electrical reactions and currents flowing through our bodies give rise to a field of energy. And sometimes you can see it with the naked eye. Some people can see it with the naked eye. And other times it takes special cameras, which you know something about, right? Because we use those cameras to see the biofield and then to try to understand what effect certain conditions might have on the biofield. For example, trauma, since we're on the subject of trauma.
Yes.
What happens to the biofield of the brain, to the spine, to the body, and as it emanates outward, what kind of frequencies is it generating? What kind of amplitudes is it generating? Those are the two primary characteristics of any wave.
Right.
So as waves of energy are emanating out of our bodies, that's the biofield.
Right. So would you akin it to like putting a pebble in a pond and the ripple that it creates?
Yeah, that's a great metaphor. So any event that happens in our life can be analogous to a pebble falling into a pond, or a single raindrop onto a still pond, where the energy from that raindrop or from that pebble transmits directly down into the field of water. It's traveling through a field of air, for example, and it's having an effect on the field of air. And then when it hits that different phase, the field changes immediately, and it emanates in all directions. And what we see on the surface is just the effect on the surface of the field as it interfaces. But that field is emanating and will emanate forever.
Right. It won't stop, like you showed us with the lasers.
Exactly. And in fact, the sound waves are other fields that we generate. My voice is generating a field of sound when you speak with me. Yours is.
Right.
We're hearing the breeze
The
blow through the
birdies.
trees and the birds. So, but the human biofield that I study is mainly with light, and I am studying both what our biofields look like, and also how do we experience them when we communicate and when we receive energy and information from the biofield. Because the biofield can translate both energy and information.
Yep.
That's what radio waves are.
Yeah.
That's what flashlights are. They, that's what they do. So I don't know if you want to talk about the mind band now.
I absolutely want to talk about the mind band.
We could talk about the rest a lot,
Yeah.